Hi, my name is Nick, and welcome to another episode of the HealthScore Longevity Report. Each week, I describe from the best evidence in the medical literature what you can do to extend your lifespan. This week, we're looking at consumption of tea. Get to know your health score, a composite assessment of everything you can do to increase your lifespan by going to healthscore.thinkific.com. The link is below. The study we're looking at was published in the Annals of Internal Medicine in August 2022. The Annals has an impact factor of 51.6, making it one of the most respected journals in the world. I mention impact factor anytime I quote a study because there's a lot of bad science out there, and this allows us to pick from among the very best journals. The title of the study was Tea Consumption and All-Cause and Cause-Specific Mortality in the UK Biobank. We're looking at a study of people in the United Kingdom. And as you'll see, that means we're looking at a study of black tea. It's already well established in the medical literature on lots of studies that have been done in Asia, China and Japan in particular, that green tea has a benefit in reducing all-cause mortality. At 2 to 3 cups of green tea per day, there's a 12% reduction in all-cause mortality. That discovery was published in JAMA in 2006. That journal has an impact factor of 157. That study looked at 40,530 adults in Japan and showed that 12% reduced risk of death at 2 or more cups of green tea compared to not drinking green tea at all. But it's less well known if black tea has similar benefits as green tea. Evidence to date before this study was limited and findings were inconsistent. The study we're looking at today is part of the UK Biobank, which is a large medical database that includes a wide range of health factors on 500,000 people. In this particular study, participants were followed up for 11.2 years. Among participants, they were asked about their baseline tea consumption. 85% of respondents drink tea, and 89% of those who drink tea drink black tea. As we said, this study really evaluates the benefit of black tea. Only 7% of tea drinkers drank green tea. As far as amount of tea consumed, the majority of the population either was drinking 2 to 3 cups or 4 to 5 cups of tea a day. 2 to 3 cups was 29% of respondents who drank tea, and 4 to 5 cups was among 26% of respondents who drink tea. 74%, the majority, add milk. It's usually low-fat milk. And 13% add sugar. A cup of tea in Britain is between 4 and 5 ounces, which we would really consider half a cup in the U.S. But we're really talking about the number of brewed tea bags, because a cup of black tea, whether it's in 4 ounces or 8 ounces of water, we're still talking about 1 bag of tea. The researchers controlled for a whole host of covariates, including race, sex, age, education, tobacco use, alcohol use, diet, and other health conditions. And the researchers found that compared to not drinking tea, those who consumed 2 to 3 cups per day had a 13% reduced risk in all-cause mortality. And that's where it basically plateaued. It didn't get any better than 2 to 3 cups a day of tea. The researchers also found that findings were similar, whether or not participants also drank coffee. This is important because we already know that coffee lowers all-cause mortality. If tea lowers all-cause mortality even more, then this would suggest a benefit for both coffee and tea as opposed to one or the other. To show you what I'm talking about, this is the study upon which the benefits of coffee are well established. This study was published in the journal Circulation in 2015, impact factor of 39.9. It was a prospective cohort study of 133,611 adults. And there was a 15% reduction in all-cause mortality when individuals were consuming 3 to 5 cups a day. What we now know is that not only is coffee beneficial, but black tea as well as green tea is beneficial, and the benefit is additive. The other thing I want to point out is the benefit did not exist for those 13% of tea drinkers who added sugar to their beverage. In a separate analysis, they found that the benefit of tea was no longer significant for those who added sugar to the beverage. And that is consistent with other findings in the medical literature that sugar-sweetened beverages are harmful. This is the study upon which the knowledge that sugar-sweetened beverages are harmful is based. This study was published in the journal Circulation in 2019. It looked at 118,363 adults and found that consuming 1 serving of sugar-sweetened beverages per month or greater increased mortality, with an up to 21% increased risk in all-cause mortality for those who drank 2 or more servings of sugar-sweetened beverages a day. The fact that the tea drinkers in this study who added sugar to their beverage did not benefit in terms of all-cause mortality makes sense in light of what's already known about sugar-sweetened beverages. Another interesting finding in this study, they were able to determine the genotypes of caffeine metabolism among participants. In other words, they were able to give them a score of how well they metabolized caffeine. If you metabolize caffeine really well, you have a high score. And you also don't have caffeine in your system. It gets cleared away immediately. So this allows us to determine, was the benefit of tea consumption related to the caffeine? If the benefit of the tea consumption was related to caffeine, then in the fast metabolizers, we won't see a benefit. And what the researchers found was that the genotype, the speed with which an individual metabolized caffeine, did not change the results. People who cleared caffeine rapidly were just as likely to benefit as those who cleared it slowly. And what that tells us is it wasn't the caffeine that was causing the benefit that we saw in this study. So what was causing the benefit? Well, tea is made as an extract from the leaves of the plant Camellia sinensis. And high concentrations of flavonoids and other antioxidants are likely behind the health benefits of tea. These are bioactive compounds that are antioxidants. They reduce oxidative stress and reduce inflammation in the body. And that is what the researchers in this study, at least, point to as the reason for the benefit from consumption of tea. The key takeaways from this study are that black tea consumption reduces all-cause mortality, that adding sugar to tea negates the benefit, that the benefit is most likely from antioxidants, which reduce inflammation in the body and reduce oxidative stress, and the optimal benefit from tea is accrued at 2 to 3 cups daily. I want to recommend anyone watching this broadcast to know your health score, find out your health score. In HealthScore, one of the recommendations is to drink 2 cups of green tea or black tea daily. You'll also see my recommendations for drinking coffee based on the research. You'll see recommendations across a variety of domains, from foods and drinks to consume and those to avoid, to everything from the amount of physical activity you need and what lab results to pay attention to for longevity and prevention of chronic disease. You can get this assessment, which is free, by scanning the QR code that you see above me or going to healthscore.thinkific.com. Thank you.